Hey y'all, it's your girl D back with another video. This video is another book review on a book I just finished reading. It is Michelle Zauner's Crying in H-Mart, a memoir. Basically, in her memoir, Michelle goes over issues of race, duality, identity, cultural inclusion, exclusion, understanding oneself, loss. Oh my gosh. Y'all, if you like a good memoir like me, stay tuned. Let me take hold on. I have no idea how I came across that book. I think I was watching like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or one of those late night shows, and they were hosting her band, I think. I might be wrong, but somewhere on TV or on the YouTube, I got my glasses on so I look smart, y'all. On the YouTube, I came to find out about this book, and I decided, as somebody who loves a good memoir, who loves a good life story, I would pick it up. So I got mine off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the bottom so that y'all can basically get the book if you want to, or the Audible or the Kindle or whatever. So Crying in H-Mart goes over Michelle Zauner's life growing up half Korean and I'll say half European, half white, and the identity crisis that exists in that space in between, because she grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and if y'all know the Pacific Northwest, it's predominantly white. She grew up in Oregon, and the idea of being the only, is so relatable by POC. I don't know if she intended it to be like that. Obviously, she's not black. I'm not Korean. Not relatable on that spectrum, but it's relatable in the sense that if you've ever been the only person that looked like you in the room, or if you've been in a space where it didn't feel safe for you to exist as yourself, your whole self, that is what she's portraying in her memoir. Basically, her identity, her mom is Korean, and they formed a bond over Korean food. Now, if you are the child of an immigrant, you understand that being a first generation American, you exist in that space where you grow up eating the food, you grow up hearing your parents speak their native tongue or their dialect, and if they don't teach you that, it's kind of like you are missing a part of your identity. For her, food meant the connection between Korea, her mom, herself, her Koreanness, her sense of identity, and it gave meaning to who she was. I don't know, I can't pronounce all the foods that they were talking about in the book, but she goes on to list all the foods that, traditional Korean, her mom would make for her breakfast, and her mom would tell her the specific ways to indulge in those, those foods, and how you make it, where to get the supplies. And H-Mart is a specialized store. If you don't know what H-Mart is, it's a store that offers I think it's mostly Asian foods. I've been in an H-Mart, and I think it's mostly Asian foods. I'll have to do a little research on that, but H-Mart is a specialized store where you can find things that you wouldn't be able to find at like a regular grocery store, whereas like they have the real deal, like the imported stuff. So when you are of a different identity, you understand the importance of being able to find that right ingredient to make it like how mom used to make or how dad used to make. And that's what Michelle is talking about. That duality that exists is being an American, being of a different ethnicity, or existing in that place. I also gathered the idea of wanting to belong, right? I can't speak for mixed race people because I don't know their experience, and every mixed race person has different experiences depending on how you present, I think is what phenotypically. So her experience was that she was often not Korean enough and not white enough, and that's something that creates an internal conflict, right? So the idea of this internal conflict and understanding that you're not one or the other, you're both existing as you're both at the same time, and that's like a hard concept to accept especially when you have like a rich culture like the Korean culture. And I think she was really close with her mom, and that is what she desired to be. She desired to be that perfect, Korean young girl, but they knew she wasn't fully Korean when she used to take her trips there, and they would, kind of not ostracize her, but what's the word? I want to say, like, they would point it out. Essentially, they would say, "Oh, you have a nice round face," or whatever, and based on Korean beauty standards and things like that, they would admire her for that. But to her, that wasn't complimenting her as a Korean person. That was pointing her out as an other. We get the idea of loss and nostalgia. So obviously, if you've read the book, you know the circumstances surrounding her mother's passing and how that created her identity crisis in terms of no longer having that bridge between her whiteness and her Koreanness. And then she goes through life and she makes the best of the circumstances. But when you're experiencing tough situations like caretaking and the loss of a parent, you get to a point where you start reminiscing on the olden days, and sometimes you also lose some of those memories, or maybe think of them as, if they really happened, or, it's kind of, you kind of suffer loss as well in that sense of losing a major connection of yourself, if that makes sense. Like, for her, she was connected through her mom to Korea. When her mom passed, it's almost like she lost that ability to relate, or she felt that she could no longer claim that identity because that was her mom. It wasn't her. It was not her, because she exists in that duality, right? But understanding that even without that link to your ancestry or to your motherland, or your mother's tongue, you still are that. With memoirs, I think obviously they're meant to tell the author's story, but also if we can reflect on our own experiences in life, right? For me, this book brought up my own personal challenges with losing a parent and being the child of an immigrant, and understanding what that means when you lose that connection. And in the end, Michelle Zauner, I think she comes to terms with the idea that even though her mom is no longer there, she is still connected to Korea, and it kind of comes full circle in the end with the emergence of her band. If you've never heard of them, it's Japanese breakfast. I think they're on NPR. If you like Tiny Desk and all of those sessions, I think they were on NPR, and I think they were on KEXP, the Seattle station. I believe they were, and I think I saw their set, but I can't quite remember. But yes, she is a musician and an artist and obviously an author, but everything comes full circle because I recommend this book. I'm biased anyway towards memoirs. I love memoirs, so y'all read the description if you want to get more in depth on it. But yeah, it's super relatable book. It's an easy read. Yeah, so that was my take on that. And I'm gonna be coming back to y'all with some more book reviews. I got a couple books that I'm looking at right now, so y'all stay tuned for that. I got more videos coming up for the channel, and hopefully this year we're gonna revamp the channel, so y'all stay tuned for all the upcoming updates. I appreciate y'all, all my subscribers. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace, one love, bye.